line will open in 5 minutes. Left turns only in the start sector. Lagi ya. Belum pasang aja belum terus pada seperti itu. Sudah. Itu yang Caranya kerja pastinya ya warna hitam.
Need to
This
make,
microphone is in red, so you have to put it in not red.
but I've got a very small frame,
It's normal.
so I can't really see anything on the frame.
So you don't. It's not important. This just push there.
Yeah, I've done.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yes, it works.
And now I can watch this. Yeah. Okay. So now we can see what's happening. We can see that the leading group, Philippe de Pesci and Miguel Monero and Carl Lindenberg and Mike Young and Werner have already gone out in front and are following the ridge, 2,300 meters, good altitude, all the way along on the north side of the valley. And they are not already only 5-6 kilometers from the turning point. So they will run along this north side all the way in the hope that they can get good energy. And we can see that the second group here, these people who waited, really not doing so. There's Peter Panicek from Czech Republic and George Spreckley from Great Britain. And Eva from France are all waiting here to try and get some more altitude before they go in. Looks like Thilo has gone a completely different way to everybody else. He's okay, so it's working okay.
I sent Sean Paul.
Yeah, and Visa Mati.
Please.
I send you his address.
So send the same email as me to the 3 people who have to see that. And be careful with what you say. Oh, perfect. It's quite, it's a little bit robotic, but it's good.
Yeah. So if we're still working, you still there, the bench? Have you sent the mail?
Sorry.
I sent you Visa's address. So you send the mail now.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and I'll do some more editing, and we'll ask them how it's been wrong.
And we have some problem on the last 10 points. It's becoming.
It's open to work. Nothing we can do about that. So they'll see the view that I'm seeing when I'm doing this.
Yes. If you speak, they hear you. If you move,
Well, tell me when you send the mail.
so it's
You send it to Alex as well. So if Mike Young's really going away, Peter Panic and Julie really left behind.
really sent.
Okay. So let's have a little practice here. It's interesting that Kian and I can't see the names in the labels quite often. I need to open that. So Depeche and Young and Lindbergh are all flying together, along with Werner Ammer, and the group of 4 is out in front, and they're really going very well. Kai Lindbergh is not far behind, a little bit lower, but he's obviously in touch, and you can see them, and you can see what's happening here. We come back a little bit more, and we've got De La Rosa and Hauser, who's still in touch with the guys in front, and behind them, Miguel Mondero putting up a very good flight with his ASW20, and Friedel Hauser's with him, and he's going okay. He's 2,200 meters and not far behind leaders. At the back, we've still got this group that's only just going into the turning point with Thilo Hollinghouse and Eva. Eva's just made the turn, and Billy is just about to turn in his belt, doing really well. And Jill Spreckley is coming up behind. Peter Panic is really stuck. He's back here somewhere, and I don't know what's happened to him, but he doesn't seem to be making much progress at all. And it seems that it's not easy along there. It's not fast like yesterday, but it's possible, and they're going okay. They have to cross now the Puimaron Valley, and from the Puimaron Valley they will come back into the Marangas Valley. We have Panic is back here. He's back here to come back towards the airfield. Maybe he's decided that he's not going to go today. The leading group now with Mike Young and Werner Ammer and Philippe Depeche and Kai Lindbergh's with them are all climbing on this corner of the Puimaron Valley on the mountain of Khalid. And from there they will move down to the southwest and come round onto the face of the Valley of Marangas. It's tricky here because they need to climb again. Where the cursor is now is a good place to climb, and so they should go from there around the corner and onto this point. But if they can get really high here, maybe they can come along the top. But normally this is not such a good route. The guys who were behind are beginning to catch up. So it's obviously not such a good climb. This one at the top here. This one on the car lead. 2,300, not too bad. People coming up behind are 2,200, 2,300. They'll soon be catching up. And what's happening behind here? Oh, well, we're jolting around the turn, but he's just gone round, and the others are on the way back. So it's working reasonably well. Everybody's staying about the same height. Mike Young has decided he's going to try a slightly different way. He's going right to the end of the Carly Valley. Not sure what the idea is here, because it makes it even further to come around the south side. You can't really go on the north side of this mountain because there's a col. But Mike's never flown here before, and he doesn't know that. So it's interesting what he does. Maybe he's seen the possibility to get very much higher if he goes further up the valley. Maybe he thinks that if he goes more into the Puimaron Valley, there's just a chance that he can get up to maybe another 600-700 meters, and that can maybe get him over the col. You can see that in the where they want to go now is down to Puisera, and this valley is dead here. You need to be 2,500, 2,600 meters to come through this col back into this valley, which will take them on to the main valley and into Serra d'Urgell. Mike's still not climbed very much, but he's tempted the others along. They've come up this way a little bit as well. And now we can see that Werner Ammann, he's decided, no, I'm going to go straight down the front, and he's taken the route along the back on towards Morangues here. Looks to me like that's a good plan. He should be able to climb pretty well in this area here. We seem to have lost Limburg's tracker, and it's not really helpful. I suspect that he's not far off this main group. I suspect he's up there with them somewhere, but we can't really see. And we look again, and we can see coming out of the first turn, we've got Billy and Jill on the way back now to join the rest, and here we've got Eva and Thilo together with Friedlin Hauser and Miguel, all coming along the south face of the slopes. This area here, to the north of them, is a big ski area. It's a ski area with cross-country skiing and the area for Font-Romeu. Mike's really decided, I think, that that was a bit of a waste of time going to the north, so he's coming back round to the south to come back onto this route here. He really ought to try, and he and Philip really ought to come back onto here, because the other guys are catching up really quickly, and they're very soon going to be with them. It's almost like they want to do a little bit of sightseeing there, because it's very beautiful, this Puimaron Valley. In the meantime, Werner's on his own, and he's really getting on with it. He's back onto Morangues now. Any minute now, we should see him stop to climb. He's coming into a very good area on the corner of the valley here. Usually in this bowl here, we get a good climb, and we can see when we look out at the sky that we have good cumulus on this side of the valley. So we'll wonder where the others are going to catch him up. It's a mystery to know why they chose to go up the valley there. Maybe they can see a nice cumulus high up, which just didn't work. Philip's going to try and come around onto this face up here. There's a plateau here, which is very high, 2,400 meters, frozen lakes, and a small mountain refuge. It sits in the little col here, right in the very top. Usually the conditions in this valley are very good, but the conditions here are not so good, because the air is very cold in this area here, and you don't really climb away. Now we can see that maybe Philip's going to come around the corner. Werner climbing, yeah, it seems like he's going with 2,360, 2,000. Yeah, he's going up okay. He's got exactly the right tactic for this day. Mike's the same altitude, good 4 or 5 kilometers back. And Philip's just a little bit higher, so he'll see now that he'll come into here and climb. If they really know this area, they know the best tactic here is to come off the end of the next mountain. And this is the mountain of Ketzna. And across this valley here, the Corvassa, And in this area here, we should get a good convergence and a good line of left. This will take them on the lower slopes from here down to Pusedo. We look back now, and I don't know if Paul's listening, or Sean, or Visamati. Yeah, but if you are, maybe you send us a Skype chat or something to say that you can hear it and it's working okay. Nobody else is watching this. It's just a test for you guys and a test for me to see if we can put together some commentary. If you're not watching it, I may as well shut up and leave you to watch the 2D. Benjamin's got his headset on and says he can hear it, but he can hear me anyway. It's getting interesting now because Mike's still up at the top here, and all these guys have now gone by. And the whole group have come back together. Werner, he hasn't really climbed that much, and we shall see what happens now, because they're being very cautious today. Yesterday they flew very fast, and today they're being quite cautious. And one of the reasons for this is that there isn't really a big development on this north side of the valley. And it's just cumulus, very moist air, and very soft thermals. But on the south side of the valley, about 10-15 kilometers to the south, is a thunderstorm building. And that thunderstorm is moving slowly east towards the third turning point. There's just a risk that thunderstorm will start to create some subsidence on this in the valley and make it more and more difficult to get good thermals and to keep going. Seems like they're all going to be back together again in a minute. It seems like everybody's going to be climbing in more or less the same place. We have everybody around about 2,000, 2,200 meters, something like that. And Jeff Billy is behind his level even. He might even catch his group up. In the meantime, Werner's climbed to 2,400 meters. That's good. He'll climb up here maybe to 2,600, 2,700 meters. And from that height, he can straight over the top and join this next route down towards Pusedo. And I'm not getting any feedback from Paul or anybody to find out if it's working.
When you want, because I can't do it. It's good.
I just signed my Skype instead of the Skype. I'm happy that we just keep broadcasting because it's quite interesting to.
Yeah, I should have my connection. And I think it was quite okay. We're not during the weekend. So.
You a live chat to see if you're watching the live link. Let's see if Visamati's online. And we'll send him as well. Here we go. Back to the race. So back to the race. Do they see whatever's on my screen?
No,
What?
I just see the windows with people.
Okay. So Mr. Aman, he's set off again. He's going to go around the end of the mountain because he's not that high. He didn't get the altitude he wanted. That's cost him a little bit because all the other guys have caught up. The race starts again. And Jill's come around the bottom of this mountain because she's not so high. But you go back up into this group to climb up again. And so Sean's getting it okay, he's getting it loud and clear. Thanks, Sean. Sorry, Sean, my commentary might not be up to your standard, but I haven't really done my homework here yet. And
Hi, Sean.
but it's remarkable that we can actually do this, and we're able to and Visa, we need your feedback. So I'm sending you a check your mails, Visa. We can replay it for that. Cool. Okay, you can do it. Okay, well, it looks like it's quite interesting. I'm not sure that we're not starting everything all over again. It's one of those things that you know, if you fly here a lot, then you know that in this area here, the Morang Valley is much better than the other valleys. And we know they've got to get around to this side here. They've got to get to the next part. It's all okay. Well done. Thanks, Sean. Thanks very much, Sean. It's cool. Where do I find the live link for? Look at the email.
It's an SGP email of Cohen.
Just what was his SGP address?
It's for SGP.
Paul at SGP dot. It's okay. Let's see. Oh, now what? Okay, I'm currently in Dubai, but I'll check it ASAP. That's my. Okay, I'll leave it. Swanning around on the FAI's money. That's what he's doing. Let's see what's going on here. The Werner. Now, the valley Werner's gone into now generally isn't so great, but he will find in this area in Tosaplana there's usually the beginning of a small convergence which will run down along the front here, and he should be able to run. He's quite high, so he should be able to run this all the way down to the turning point. I don't know yet. Jill's going back up the slope, and all the others are together at 2,300, 2,400 meters. So they're all climbing up together there, and they'll be able to leave in a moment and come straight along this line here. And I suspect that we've got Mike there with them and Philippe Depeche. Yeah, they're all in there together, 40 kilometers to the front. That's about right. And they will need to climb up together, and they'll set off along the same line. I see that Werner tried the west face of the Kovasa mountain here, and it didn't really work. There is a little bit of a southwest wind, but not very much. But the southwest wind will tend to blow up this valley and blow along the face of this mountain, and you can see he's already decided that it's not to his liking, and he's going to get out of there. And he's going to move on from there, across into the convergence line here. And there should be some cumulus along here. Looking out at that area, we can see nice cumulus, but they're not that high, 2.7, 2.8 maybe. So he should be able to get some altitude along here, take the turn, go straight back. The interesting thing is going to be what happens next, because these guys will all fly along the valley. I think they'll find quite easily, but how are they going to get to Puigmal when we have a thunderstorm south of the airfield in this area here? Yesterday we had the big thunderstorms in the north, and so we moved the third turning point to the south because it looked like the same overdevelopment, but it looks like today the thunderstorms are formed in the south. But let's hope that they move away. They are moving fairly quickly to the east. So Hollinghouse is back with everybody. Thilo's caught everybody up here, and he's back up on top, 2,500. And we have Philippe Depeche. He's 2,400 with Thilo. They catch up with Werner, I think. That should be quite interesting. And we've also got Mike Young up there at 2,400, and Miguel Mondera. He's with everybody. In his little ASW20, he's doing really well. Miguel is at 2,600. Kai is at 2,600. So between them, they're doing really nicely here, and they should be up with Werner before too long. The detour that the guys made up this valley was really costly to them in terms of distance ahead. Let's just move along, see where everyone's going. And we can see the people are still climbing here. Panacek is not even left yet. The other guys are climbing. And Friedelin's up at 2,700. Miguel is up at 2,600. And Kai is 2,600, right up in the top of this valley. Actually, I'm not sure it's really worth going right to the valley. I'm not sure it is better just to go straight across. The area here, it doesn't work all that well because there's usually quite cold air and the lift line is usually a little bit further out. These guys seem to have got the right idea. That's Miguel, who's the Spanish one at the top.
It's Monedero.
That's Miguel Mondero, so the other guy is Aldo Rodriguez. Yeah, that's right, Aldo. He's gone to the top there. The Pesci's gone around the corner, and Philip and Tilo, gotta stop saying Klaus. Philip and Tilo are together, and they're about to set off across the Casa Valley, and they've got Werner in his sights. But you see, he's not done so well. He's not really done so well there. Mike's not that high. He would have been better off taking a bit more altitude back there. But if he doesn't bother going up the valley and he goes straight now, he could be with Werner in no time at all. And then here we have Eva. Eva's up with them in Pegas. That's really good. Doing very, very well indeed. And it's still a good race there. They've still got a good pack together. People are making their own decisions. They're going their own way. And people are trying things out. It's interesting with this competition, a lot of people don't really know the area very well. So every flight is a voyage of discovery. And you have to remember, the valley bottom is 1,100 meters. So actually, they're only 1,000 meters, 3,000 feet above valley bottom. The valley's a little bit lower down towards Sao, but they're still not very high. So I wonder if Paul's managed to pick any of that up. Okay, Paul. Thank you, Paul. But can you understand what's going on? Can you see it? We're only trying it with the 2D for the moment, because when we try it with the 3D, it seems to keep breaking up and crashing. But now you're watching it. I'm going to try it with the 3D, okay, bench, and we just see what happens. And if you lose it, don't worry, you can just watch the race in 2D. There we are. We're going to try and switch to 3D and see if we can get that to work properly. The other thing is we don't have a proper microphone. So I'm talking to the computer, but tomorrow we'll get a proper microphone and see if we can make that better. So once it's loaded, we can catch up with everybody. Maybe this is a mistake. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Just put all the pilots on. See what everybody's doing. And we'll catch up with no heights on the labels, but we can manage with that. And we can see that Werner is right up here on the mountain of Rabassa, I think it is, the mountain here. And we have the valley of Puseda. This is the valley that goes to Andorra, to the left. There's the road that goes up to Andorra, and it's the main road. It's a very steep valley, and it comes down to the town of Seu de Gel here. So now should come somewhere in this area. And he's at 2,100 meters, which is a nice height, but it'd be much better to be at 2,500, 2,600 meters. There's a good chance the top base is a little lower here. And they'll have to come and take the turn and back and climb on this face here. And we can see that Tilo and Philippe de Pesce are very quickly, very, very close behind. And we should have the same group. Well, it's not behind, and Kaiserberg, and we should see my young here somewhere. It must be nearby the rest of them. Friedelinghels is back there. Jill seems to have gone off, walk up to the top of the valley. She's got a good altitude now. Friedelin is very high, 2,500 meters. Well, not very high, not too bad though. The high is 2,600 meters. and we're looking now at Kilo, Werner in his sights. He's after catching him up. And Werner's gone up to the on the western face of this mount of Rabassa. He's gone up to the western face to climb up because he hopes that out of the Andorra Valley, there's a very big bowl here. There's a very big bowl in this valley. And this can give sometimes quite the turtles. But actually, I don't know how Werner knows this because he's never flown here before. But he's headed for exactly the right place to get the lift. Of course, it may be that there's a nice cubes on the top. And at this point here, where they held the small countries Olympic Games clay pigeon shooting, I know that because there's a lot of clay pigeon traps underneath it. If you enjoyed that, Sean. And from that point there, he will be able to run easily into the turning point and back to the same point to climb up again. Okay, thanks, Sean. I'm going to take a break now, Sean, and we'll come back on the next. We're going to go and look at the weather and see how this thunderstorm is developing. We'll leave that on, and I'll come back in a minute and see what's happening. Maybe Ben will talk to you.
No.
Yeah, you guys still there? I just try this, manipulating this picture a little bit. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's try this one. So we can see them coming out. I can't work out how to make it tilt. It doesn't seem to want to tilt then. It doesn't seem to want to tilt. It only moves around.
I think you have to zoom much more, or you have to double click on one of the person. It will go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we go to him.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, right.
You can turn.
So let's see what we're looking at.
Yes, turn with this.
Yeah.
Yes, always the other way.
You get us?
I don't know. We're just getting the hang of how this works, guys. Hang on. I want to turn it so we've got north here at the top.
That's good.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, now we've got the hang of it. Yeah, so now we can see them coming into turning point.
Your microphone is on?
Yeah, microphone's on. And I just want to try and move that way a little bit. It doesn't seem to be that easy to manipulate it, to turn it up and down. Can't get it to go back to a plan view at all. Without it moving off. I know what I need to do. I need to pick somebody else. I know what's happened. Okay, we need to sort that out. And when you click on somebody, it just immediately goes to north. And that's not bad. So what's happened to our man? He's there. He's on the hill to climb. And can't get it to go up. So we can see what's happening now. We've got Rigas coming, De La Rosa, Rudem, Ol, and Tilo. Mike Young's with the group, mine. Mike Young, not so high, 1965. Don't set off down the valley, Mike, it would be a mistake. And Tilo, they're both setting off down the valley. I think Werner's got the right idea. Up on the top, in this area here, we get some altitude, it will take you all the way back. I don't know what they're hurrying for. There's a great big thunderstorm sitting over the next turning point. It is moving east, but not that quickly. If we're lucky, they should be able to get in and out. We put a 3 kilometer radius on it anyway. So that should allow them to get in and out of the turning point. Yeah, thank you, Sean. So Paul said he's watching the live track stream and listening to the YouTube voice feed. Okay, that works. That works. The advantage of this is that I suppose I can manipulate the screen and explain what I'm looking at.
Oh yes,
Yeah. And Jill's coming in here. She's Friedlin's up on the top. Friedlin's quite high. He's 2,600. How did Jill get down there? 2,000 meters again. She's not having a great day there. Tilo's gone up to the top. Mike's decided he's going to go along. And Mike's not that high. 1,800 meters. You could do with being a bit higher, really, Mike. It's not a great altitude. Although you will probably climb in this area here somewhere. That's better. Now I'm getting the hang of it. Let's roll. It's interesting because Werner has lost out a little bit. He's 2,300. Mike didn't really climb there. Mike and Jill are just about hello to each other. But Jill's 600 feet above Mike, 2,200 meters above him, running into that turn. Eva's doing well. Eva's coming out of the turn. She's 17. Oh, she's not very high though. 1,700 meters isn't really very high just there. And Miguel, he's not bad. He's 1,800 meters, but that's still not very high. They really do need to climb in this area because the valley here is very narrow. Not much happens in it, not much lift, and this is very high plateau here they're flying into, and they have to get out of the other end of it, and then they'll be really low if they don't find any lift. So Eva's going to get stuck, I suspect. I suspect that she's not really high enough to carry on. She's only 600 meters above the airfield back here, and the valley goes up. So she's going to have to go back a little bit. And Shift key plus left mouse and Control key plus left mouse allow you to change your tilt. Yeah, well, I found, Paul, that if I can scroll on it, it changes, which I've only just found out. So scrolling does that, yeah, which is cool. But what I can't do is get rid of this. I can't get the whole thing to move up. But the way to do that is to pick somebody else. But when I pick somebody, it's this weird, it spins around. And I have to put it back to the north again. Uh-oh. That was a mistake. Just a minute. Here we go. We're in trouble here. Oh, here we go. And what it doesn't always do is allow me to move it back. There we go. Back to the north again. And now I'm back to the north, but now I've lost everybody because it's moved the view altogether. It's going to take a bit of getting used to this to get the. So what do you say? Control Shift.
Just Control and left.
Okay, right. That's not too bad.
And Shift.
Shift.
Okay, it works the same.
Yeah.
And then you can scroll to the main.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Just a pretty face then, Paul.
Eva's climbing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Yeah, I want to tilt it this way to go more of an overhead view. So what's going on now? Oh, Jill's come up to 2,400 meters. Tilo's up there with her, but he's going the other way, and Miguel's going the other way. Now Miguel's a bit stuck over here. What's Miguel doing? He's down to 1,900 meters, looking for a climb on the western face. Eva's climbing okay? She's climbing. That's good. That's good. It'll give her the altitude to cross the valley. Now we have Werner and Mike out in front, and Philippe de Pesci is with them. The not so high. They haven't really climbed up there, and they're not so high. They will have to come all the way back really to the Valley of Moranges to climb again.
What about the Canadian bird? Where is he?
And Kai, where's Kai gone? Where's Kai? Let's try Kai. He's There he is. So he's just with Philip and Mike. And what I want to do is move it to the side. It doesn't seem to want to do that. Okay. So Werner's not so high now. He's 2,100. He's okay. He's okay. He'll be able to cruise back onto this slope here. And Mike Young and yeah, we've got Silvio. Silvero's caught them up here. De La Rosa. He's up with Mike and Philippe de Pesci. They're going to be going together, and they'll run around this corner and back onto the Maranges Valley, where Limburg, who's it? Christoph Limper is still hanging around. Actually, no, I think we lost him, didn't we? Yeah. And what about Kai? We're not Kai, we've got Peter Panchek, he's still up here. And Lindberg's doing okay, but Panachek, he's still a long way back. I don't even know if he's been to the turning point. We lost track of him completely. So Werner's pushing on again. Werner's pushed on and crossed on to the main valley here. He'll be heading into the Maranges Valley in a moment, but he's not high enough to get over. There's a little col just to the south of him now. He will probably get just round through that col there. But he might even not be high enough to get through there, in which case he has to come all the way around the end. Maybe he can just sneak it through there, because he'll now know that he'll be able to climb well in this area here. Chasing him is Shift plus left mouse gives best control view. Okay. Okay, got that, Paul, thanks. That's the one I wanted. Thank you, Paul. Yep, that's the one that gives you the rotated view. Okay, now we're getting under control. Now we can look back more on the top. And we'll get around that turn. Not far behind Hauser. Rodriguez is not so high now. He's climbing up 2,100 meters. And Jill will be down in this place here to climb up in a minute. Thilo's still back here, but he should be high now. Thilo should have climbed up to a decent altitude. He's 2,400 meters. So he's doing okay there. And he's going to come back along the tops here. Mike Young is now at 2-1. It's still not a great altitude, but he's probably okay for coming around the corner. These guys are heading into a real problem when they when they come up to this area here, there's a thunderstorm. And the thunderstorm is here now, but it's moving slowly away. But the problem is where to get the altitude to get in and out of the sector. That's going to be tricky. Werner's very soon going to have to make that decision, because he's going to climb here, and we're going to have to watch what he does. I'm just going to nip outside and have a look and see what's going on with that thunderstorm. How do you get the microphone to open it?